been a cradle Lutheran all my life. I graduated from Washington College with a degree in drama and humanities, and I spent 3 years as a professional actress before I decided to come to seminary.
I was raised in the Lutheran Church, baptized as an infant, and went on through Sunday school and confirmation and all kinds of stuff.
We grew up in the city, and I'm really thankful for that. We lived in a row house. To the right of us was where the priests lived in the rectory for St. Francis Catholic Church. And immediately to the left of us in another row house was a Jewish family. So I grew up with multi-religious influences as a little girl.
After I graduated from college, I ended up living in Kenya for a year, where I worked with the ELCA's Young Adults and Global Missions program. And that was such an amazing experience. I mean, I was living on the coast of Kenya in kind of a mostly Muslim area, and I was working with a Kenyan church there, mostly doing youth ministry stuff, but doing other things as well.
At the same time as I was doing the professional acting, I decided that I wanted to travel and I wanted to learn about farming, which is something I wanted to do ever since I was a little girl. So I found a program called Worldwide Opportunities in Organic Farming. And I used that platform to travel Europe and to volunteer on different organic farms. So I've done everything in that 3-year post-college period, from learning to milk goats to making cheese to picking avocados, all kinds of things. It was really fun.
I volunteered to be an English teacher in Namibia, which is a very different place in Kenya. It's the second least densely populated country in the world, you know, kind of a desert environment, and but amazingly enough, they have a long-standing Lutheran tradition there. And so, so for about the next 4 years, I taught high school English in a very rural, isolated school way out in the bush, about 45 miles from the nearest grocery store, and it was just amazing.
I became interested in seminary when I was fairly young. When I was in high school, I had a pastor who I looked up to tell me that this was something that I should keep in the back of my mind. And I said, oh, sure, yeah, maybe sometime after I've had a career or two and I'm old and need a retirement project, I'll look into becoming a pastor.
After the first year of classes, you begin to wonder, when am I going to apply some of this knowledge I've been working so hard to get throughout the year? And you wonder, you know, are these things really applicable in ministry? And then the answer is yes, they are. And CPE was definitely a moment when I started to put things together, kind of the pieces start fitting together.
That is a mini highlight of my seminary experience, because I saw professors gifted in teaching, who loved to teach. Classes that I really remember. I remember the lab kind of part of, I think it was epistles, with the professor making such profound teachings that our class would actually go, oh. It was just like an aha moment. Oh, isn't this neat that we had, it's Dr. Carlson, that we had learned that.
My experience with the professors here has been that they are people who want you to truly think about your call, to feel your call, and to find a way to reconcile the confessions of the Lutheran Church with the confessions of your heart.
Many people don't realize that seminary is not a cakewalk. You know, we think of our pastors as these friendly people that have, you know, they finished school a long time ago, and yeah, seminary is not for scholars or something like this. I don't know. There's maybe an idea that it's not as demanding as some other academic disciplines, and that's a big kind of misnomer or mistake. I mean, it's demanding academically.
I was so impressed with how they encouraged me, because I thought, here they are looking at this older woman and maybe wondering, but they never gave me that impression. The impression they always gave me was, how can I help you? How can I help you in this journey? And I'm very grateful for that.
The incredible heart and compassion and love of a people that's united in a shared love of Christ, and the incredible humanity that you confront when you bring people together in learning and worship and fellowship. So an experience that would typify that at Gettysburg, I think, would be the chapel worship services. When we come together for chapel and we lift our voice in song together and we celebrate both this church's heritage and its future. That to me really typifies the community here.
Community is what seminary is all about. It's, as I said, no one can go this journey alone. It's important to see the whole seminary complex, buildings and people as forming what our theology calls us to be. Christ had 12 people around him and many, many more. We are called to be the same.
I think as an emerging leader and someone who's discerning call, one of the things I've been challenged to do here is to identify what gifts I have for service and where God is calling me to serve. One of the things that's been difficult for me to realize, and I'm still in the process, is that you can't make everyone happy as a pastor. You can't be everyone's pastor. You can be a really good pastor to the kinds of people who need the gifts that you have to offer. So you need to know what those gifts are. And for me, the discovery and discernment of those gifts is an important element of the service that Gettysburg is teaching me to perform.
When I came into seminary, there was a strong yearning and pull in my heart to go into prison settings and the jail settings. There wasn't at that time an absolute program. Sometimes there is for military chaplains. There is none actually for prison or jail chaplains in our tradition. However, what I found was the seminary was open to structuring a program that would help meet this call upon my life. They honored it, they respected it, and they walked this walk with me, opening doors that before had not been opened. So to my delight, I had seen this as a seminary that was not rigid in its structure, but actually open to the possibilities of walking with somebody on a different type of journey because they honored the person's call from God upon their life.